Papua New Guinea as well. The last couple of days, as we all witnessed, has been quite a bit of commotion at the political front. The President has made it very clear through the presentation of this historic document that we are not responding in terms of emotions and everything else. The position that Bougainville has taken is a considered position. Great thought has been put into it to ensure that our dreams and our aspirations continue to be realized. Now, before I get into other commentaries, I'd like to give some support in defense of the Governor, Governor Marum. I noticed that there has been some suggestions that his neutrality has been compromised because of the meeting here in Rabaul. Let me make it absolutely clear that Rabaul was not the intended venue. We are here in Rabaul by default. All the Melanesian Agreement conversations had happened in Port Moresby, and this next session was going to be in Bougainville. But because of the commotion at the political front, the technical officials, they were quite apprehensive about going to Bougainville, so it was suggested to come to Rabaul. So that's why we ended up here, not because Governor Marum Grisi Mipla na Toke Mipla Lokam, or there's some collusion going on. So let me make that absolutely clear. We respect the leadership of East New Britain. For those who don't know, let me make it absolutely clear that when Panguna was at its height, the largest number of Tolais living out of East New Britain was in Bougainville. The largest group of East New Britain people living out of East New Britain was on Bougainville. And then you had the crisis. Many of the Bougainvillians moved this way, tried to establish their businesses, etc. Then you had the twin volcanic eruption. So you could see the damage and the suffering that many of the Bougainville people had. But Rabaul continued to play a very big part. East New Britain continues to play a very big part in certain events that had happened. This is apart from the historical facts that we know about the independence movement very earlier on, with people like late Oscar Tamur and Sir John Caputin. Those links we acknowledge. But there's a Bougainville peace process that has been agreed to. We are proceeding in this fashion in implementation of that Bougainville peace agreement and relevant agreements and the constitutional amendments that are applicable to the current working conditions that we are in. So we make him clear in simple terms that the final Bougainville position is number one, from today to the 1st of September 2027, Mipla lo Bougainville, Mipla prepare lo self-government. Mipla prepare lo self-government. From today until the 1st of September 2027. On the 1st of September 2027, to a date to be fixed in 2030, and by self-government. Self-government will be in play from the 1st of September 2027 to a date in 2030. In 2030, Bougainville will achieve its full independence. According to the definition that the two governments had agreed, that went into the referendum ballot paper, and which the Bougainvillean people voted on, where independence is to mean Bougainville being an independent, sovereign nation, separate from the independent, sovereign nation of Papua New Guinea. That's the definition that people voted in. So I mean, also mipla tram logo outside long peace agreement, now not agreement. Our work today, like the president has again reiterated, we remain committed to peace and reconciliation, honesty and good faith. This is a difficult agenda. We understand the pain and the apprehension and the difficulty that the Prime Minister and the national government has. But we plan on not ignoring to pain and suffering of people. And we cannot also brush away the 97.7% referendum result on independence. So that's probably the most I want to say today. This is truly a historic day, and we hope that this final Bougainville position will now provoke the national government into making a considered response, a leadership response that can now move some of the issues forward. So that's the most I wanted to say. The President has said a lot. We leave it to a couple of questions and answers, and then we can call the afternoon off. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, if I could also mention that at the back of the document which the President handed over to the facilitator and to the National Chief Secretary is an attached document of the Bougainville leadership resolutions. 2 nights ago, we met with the national members, and the national members have also signed a resolution that fully endorses the position that the government has taken in the final Bougainville position. So it's not like it's a matter where Mipla or AVG government Mipla make him in. Because Tupla Minister or staff long Executive Council or National Government that you may got Mary member to Assistant Speaker long National Parliament, nah, they might stand differently. We made a very truthful and we had a truthful and honest discussion. So the national members have come on board and have voluntarily signed to the resolution that today Mipla to all national member, Mipla sana wanted this la president, wanted this la government, wanted people Mipla to make him same people. Lo advance in this la final position. Lo Bougainville. Question and answers. Thank you. Very briefly.
Mr. President, my name is Lydia Kaya. I'm with the Bougainville Way. It's a new magazine.
Sorry, who are you with?
I'm Lydia Kaya. I'm with the new magazine called Bougainville Way. My question pretty much seeks clearance and really clarification on key activities that are happening in Bougainville. When you're saying we're getting ready, what are some of the key activities that you are doing internally? What are some of the key activities that you're doing internally on Bougainville?
Okay, thank you. Over the last couple of years, even in the first term of President Toroama, we had embarked on a Trident strategy. And that Trident strategy is on independence readiness. So we broke it up into an internal independence readiness. We had the domestic readiness, and we also had the international. we have now stressed to the people of Bougainville, and we continue to stress to our people, that there is no point in domestic and international readiness if we on Bougainville are not independence ready. So we came up with a strategy that involved every constituency on Bougainville. We had a parliamentary motion that was passed by Parliament, where each constituency is required to set up its independence readiness committee, wherein the constituency member is the chairman, and the chairlady or chairperson of a community government is the deputy chair. And that exercise, we had a couple of threshold in terms of economic sustainability, human resources, law and order, good governance. So what was required is for each constituency, in their own uniqueness, to get up and try and meet to those challenges. Now, some constituencies have declared, some constituencies have not. In the meantime, we created a couple of new constituencies. So the instructions have gone back to the administration to now revisit this strategy and get back to finding something that works, where the constituencies who have declared, we find a way to improve the scorecard. Yublo line no declare, no Yublo constituency, this is a strategy. So that activity is ongoing. It started in the last house. It's now been given more prominence. That's at the constituency level. The president has been very personally driving the economic agenda. We have the president here. We have the utilities and infrastructure minister here. We have the minister for economic services here. That's the economic sector that is driving many of the impact projects on Bougainville. Apart from that issue, we had a heads of department meeting last week, and every department is now expected to respond to this final Bougainville position. Why we need to do that is that there will come a time where the sort of funding that we are promised might never come. How do we pay for our teachers? How do we pay for our health workers? How do we pay for the road maintenance and the classroom? So we need to look back within us. So we're very clear on what not only our rights are, but I think over the last couple of weeks we've tried to impress on the responsibilities of individual Bougainvilleans, because the message we give them, Emolsan, you know, Parliament of Bougainville been voted to display independence. You know, all churches, you know, Catholic Church or UC or Seventh Day, you know, all women's group, women's fellowship will been voted to display independence. You mean one man marry lo Bougainville? We make that decision. And therefore, that responsibility of independence readiness must come back to us. You mean lo family, you mean ready also to display independence. I have an officer sitting in the room today who took it personally. Let me go to ward belongan, set down his family, not talk him family belonging, by me plan him cacao now, so that I'm Bougainville independent. You too, you got cacao. You too, you got. We don't have to, like, sometimes we need to bring it back down to the personal level, because in the end, you mean one man Mary been making this decision. long independence. So no can expect him government by putting Kai Lote all blue. Let's get up and work and toil the land and look at what our sea has to offer.
I think on that same note, the leadership of Bougainville, because the people, the majority has voted, and the leadership have taken that stand to make sure that whatever comes out of their shared responsibility, and with the leaders' responsibility, the leaders' responsibility on the table is to absolutely protect the 97.7. The people of Bougainville has voted us, and for us to pursue independence as through the Bougainville Peace Agreement. The peace agreement reminds us that it will be based only on the outcome of the vote of the people, which is independence. So the consultation on the table is on independence, nothing else. It's no higher autonomy, nothing else. So that's why we have come again and said, yes, I think the parliament has, national parliament has its own view, but the mandate of the people has mandated the leadership of Bougainville to consult over independence and nothing more else. I think that is where we are coming from. So we made our final position, so that the national leadership can take and advantage of it, and then look at it and say, yes, this is how we can maneuver, or this is how we go. But otherwise, Bougainville, Millet Tokosam, the stand is here. It hasn't come from a substance that is outside of the Part 14 of the Constitution. No, all the cards are on the table. We have handpicked all the cards to make sure that responsibility within the leadership is intact, and with our national members also.
Just to give a bit more clarity to what the President is saying, the law is very clear. Aninit long Part 14, mamalo emito. Bayubla holim referendum, time referendum result is clear. Tukla pon by consult, lo referendum result. So in referendum, during the referendum, by the way, Minister Nishira was a commissioner on the Bougainville Referendum Commission in 2019. So law ito, you agree the options, so the two governments agreed on the options of greater autonomy and independence. National government yet, they talking Bougainville government. Yupla Bougainville define yung greater autonomy, na mipla national government, ba mipla define yung independence. Na tukla definition niya, by go inside long referendum ballot paper. So the people of Bougainville voted according to the definition that the national government gave. And definition of national government, being an independent sovereign nation, separate from the independent sovereign nation of Papua New Guinea, according to international law. And therefore, what the President is saying, law to emito, by you play auto law referendum, by play consult law independent referendum result. Alright, one name independent referendum result. Independence. And therefore the President is saying, let's be clear and let's be honest. Now you must talk so long independence, because the law says you consult on the referendum result. So Mipla talk no can waste him time lo tramo for him something or some great autonomy or free association. So according to those provisions, we have now come out clearly and put the final Bougainville position. Mr. Mishira, you want to say something, please? Yang Master Tiblan wat plan di question today.
Thank you, Lord.
Yoro buena. Yoro ramen mulai lah. Thank you everyone.
No, I'm gonna.
To the federal state.
Wise, I'm gonna drive into it.
No, I'm going to sleep.